limping down the way. And who that fella was who came by yesterday. I quickly turn my face before I start to blush, 'cause frankly there is nothing I can say. Down, down, down. I've always had a thing for pushing the extremes, and I just got a thing you won't find in the magazines. This molded silicone has got me begging, please give me more of what I really need, 'cause there is no cock like horse cock. Send your asshole into shock. You need horse cock, of course cock. Grab the loop and slam the day away. My shaft is quivering and my balls are turning blue as I think of drinking in a foot or even two of my favorite stallion that I keep in my top drawer. Slip it in and I'll be dripping goo as I take more cock. Horse cock, shut the door and turn the lock. Is your cock a horse cock? You will never hear me saying nay, 'cause there is no cock like horse cock. Rub my dick inside a sock. Don't stop now, horse cock. Stretch out my insides and make me bray. My lovely horse cock, horse cock. Shoot the doop dup 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 down. Horse cock, my horse cock. Yeah, da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yeah, da 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 da. Yeah, da da da.
Hey everyone, welcome to NP Live, Nintendo Prime Live. How are you guys doing? You guys just got done listening to the theme song of Nintendo Prime Live. Yes, folks, it is a hilarious song about something that you or your woman or man or whatever you might be keeping in your top drawer. That being said, how's it going? Shout out to everyone here who's in the chat. We got Joshua Smith here. Liam Andrade is here as well. Shiny Ray 01, Greek Gamer as well. If you would like to be shouted out, all you gotta do is say something in the live chat, and I will, take that as a shout out. If you would like to enter the giveaway, by the way, for a copy of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition, you could choose either the PlayStation 4 or the Switch version. If you win, all you have to do is comment on this video once it becomes video on demand. Not the live commentary, but the comment section that's under a standard YouTube video. Then you also need to like the video and or stream, and then subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon. Also, I kind of did like a pre-announcement thing. If we somehow hit 50,000 subscribers before the month of November, which is when PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X come out, we will be giving away a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X or Switch, depending on what the winner chooses. Obviously, stock dependability. We will give you a gift card instead if stock for the system you want is not available at that time. But yes, we plan to do that if we happen to hit 50,000 subscribers. But we'll see what happens from this point moving forward. Otherwise, we're still going to continue our monthly game giveaways as we go. That's right. Our giveaway for Paper Mario just ended. The winner will be announced by the end of today. That being said, JLo, welcome to the stream as well. New Switch, sign me up. All right, so we're going to be talking about expectations for a next-gen Switch, along with a Q&A. If you guys have any questions you ever want to ask, you can just ask them. Ping me in the chat or don't ping me in the chat. I tend to read the entire chat, but if for some reason the chat's going crazy, I'll stick to the ones at Nintendo Prime me. Or you can super chat and all that jazz, donate, and that'll get your question to the top of the pile. Also, for every single super chat or donation, you can request a song. I kind of try to keep the songs be Nintendo songs because we don't get copyright claimed for Nintendo music. However, if you would like to request a song that would not necessarily give me a strike but get my stream copyright claimed, I request that you obviously super chat a decent amount for that, because I have to give up all ad revenue then on the stream to do that. And unbiased Nintendo fans says, people talking about a new Switch. It's been 3 years since the old Switch or the current Switch. Yes, we'll get to that in a moment. Also, in addition to the song requests and all you can do. Over here, you'll see a little what I call the shot chart. Basically, for $1 and up super chats or donations or whatever, you can become a member on Patreon as well, patreon.com/Nintendo Prime. That would count as well. I will do a shot of beer, $5 a shot of wine, $10 a shot of Hypnotic, which still hasn't been cracked. And then we got 15 plus for a shot of Crown Apple Royale, 25 plus for a shot of Jack Daniels. And that just, streams sometimes get crazy, and sometimes I end up a little tipsy. But it is what it is. We'll be streaming for 90 minutes. So let's get the show on the road and talk about the headline topic here. And that's expectations for a next generation Nintendo Switch. So yesterday I attempted to have a stream talking about the NVIDIA news, about DLSS 2.0, RTX cores, all that likely being in the next gen Switch. And we talked a little bit about that, what I was able to get out about that. But I want to talk more in general about what we can expect, or what my expectations, I guess, are for what would be a next-gen Switch. Now, some of you might be like, why are we even talking about next-gen? Well, obviously, there was that indie game that has a Kickstarter goal for next-gen. We have Nintendo ramping up their research and development revenue, their investment money by 122%, which last time they did that was when they were developing Switch, which suggests Nintendo's actually developing the next-gen system right now. In addition to that as well, we have the NVIDIA hiring people specifically for game consoles in the Tegra line to work on DLSS 2.0, which involves RTX cores. So, which is the ray tracing stuff, on all the latest NVIDIA GPUs. So, yeah, that's why we're going to be talking about it. Obviously, to be clear, I do not expect a next-gen Switch to launch until 2023 at the earliest. So I think we're still 3 years away, basically, at this point. It'll be announced at E3 or some other Nintendo event, and then they'll release it that year. That is my expectation. That doesn't mean I don't expect a Switch Pro before then. I think a Switch Pro is something that still could happen next year, next summer in particular. If that doesn't happen, we got Mars Shadow Pokemon here as well. Says, I don't care what it is, as long as the Joy-Con analog sticks are as good as the Wii U or Pro Controller sticks. I hate the Pro Controller sticks. I hate them. I hate the Pro Controller sticks because of grind. They grind and grind and grind. Is the stream lagging, by the way? I don't know if the stream is lagging for you guys. They grind and grind and grind and grind and grind for me, and then I end up not being able to control my games as well. So I actually don't like the Pro Controller. I like the Pro Controller in general. I don't like the Pro Controller sticks. They made the plastic too soft. Simple fix that they still haven't fixed. But I want to talk about the Nintendo Switch in general. We talked about before what improvements they can make for a Pro, better kickstand, fixing Joy-Con drift, getting rid of the bezels on the screen, going from 720p to 1080p. Although I still think a Switch Pro would probably stick with 720p. I think 1080p is what we should expect for a next generation Switch. I also feel like a next-gen Switch has to be a decent boost in power, but nothing crazy. Like going from 4 gigs of RAM to 8 gigs. Going from, we got 32 gigs of storage, right? Let's bump that to 64. I would like to see it bumped, honestly, to 128. But I don't know if Nintendo's willing to do that. I think it'll still support micro SD cards, all that jazz. I think it'll either use the exact same cartridges as Switch or ones that are slightly altered, but it will still be able to use the old cartridges, kind of like a 3DS to a DS thing, or a Game Boy, Game Boy Advance to Game Boy or Game Boy Color, Game Boy, etc., where the prior systems could work in the new system. So I think it'll be fully backwards compatible. I don't think that's something we're going to have to worry about. I'm curious to see, what Nintendo's going to end up doing with Nintendo Switch Online, because it feels like with how half-assed Nintendo Switch Online is on Nintendo Switch, that it might be something they just completely abandon. And plus, we now know that Xbox might be getting rid of Xbox Live Gold. So with that happening, like, Nintendo might just abandon Nintendo Switch Online for the next generation. We'll see. I don't think Nintendo Switch Online is something that Nintendo can be that proud of, to be honest. Beyond a revenue sheet showing, $20 a year from, I don't know, 20 million people, however many millions of people they have subscribed. John Early is here as well. Dead Ringer 80 is here. Neil Agosto is here as well. John Early says, do you think Xbox Microsoft made in the early 2000s, the first one, has a lot of charm to it, or do you dislike it? I mean, it's got charm. It's the first Xbox. There's always charm with the first Xbox and the massive controller it had. I like that controller, to be honest, but I have really big hands. Like when you look at these, like I have huge hands. So I like big controllers. So I like the original Xbox. Plus, it had like the actual X like designed into the console. It was really cool. I liked it, anyways. I didn't actually own an OG Xbox. Eric from the Nintendo Prime podcast owned an OG Xbox, and we played his all the time. Liam Andre says, "Would the Switch Pro is most likely going to be $400 or more?" No, I think the Switch Pro would come in at the exact same price the current Switch is. So basically, I think the Nintendo Switch, if a Switch Pro comes next year, that Switch itself would drop price this holiday and then keep that price drop, and then it would come in at $299. I don't think a Switch Pro is going for $399. Nope. Next Switch next holiday, says Dead Ringer. The next gen Switch, guys, we're not getting that. I want to kind of put the kibosh on this right now. There is not a next generation Switch coming next year. Maybe a Switch Pro at most. Nintendo's not doing next gen. They are in the midst of the best selling year of Switch in the history of the Switch system. This is 3 years in, and the Switch is selling better than ever. They're not about to replace it next year. They could offer an upgraded version. They are not going to replace it. Okay? I want to make that crystal clear, guys. They are going to keep using the OG Switch, the Switch Lite, and maybe a Switch Pro next year. No next-gen Switch is happening. We're not getting Switch 2 in 2021. I can guarantee it. I could literally bet my house on it. There's no way in hell we're getting that next year. 2023 is when you should be expecting it. 2022 at the earliest, but probably more like 2023. I think Switch Pro will be the bridge gap, just like a new Nintendo 3DS, etc., to gap us until the next one. Neil Agasto is here. I think I said that. Nintendo could add a 128 gigabyte micro SD card in the Switch Pro package. They could, but I doubt they will. I'd like to see them go up to 64 gigs in a Switch Pro, but who knows? We have to know the thing exists first. Nintendo may use Xbox servers. Xbox Live will have mods soon. Nintendo actually works with Google a lot. So it's probably more likely that Nintendo uses Google servers than Xbox. Qwerty the Birdie's here. What's up, man? Kyle Hikes is here as well. How's it going? An unbiased Nintendo fan says, I doubt Nintendo will change for their online. It's Nintendo. I don't think their online is going to get better. I think there's a chance they might just scrap it. After all, they had a different online system on Wii U, which was a different online system from Wii. So, like, they change their online system almost every time. So, like, they're going to scrap it and try starting over, and it'll probably just be worse. So, yeah. It's really weird. I don't think this Nintendo Switch Online is going to last past this generation. I did not know the Pro Controller sticks grinded. That is actually sad. I actually did a video on it. You can clean them, of course, and fix the issues the grind causes, but I hate that it grinds. That's why I use this, which is a wireless PowerA controller that has the exact same layout as the Switch, as the Pro Controller. The sticks are harder, so there's a lot less grind. The plastic's harder on them. You do lose the HD rumble and the NFC ability with this. Now, the NFC ability doesn't matter much because we don't use amiibos in a ton of games. But obviously, HD rumble is nice having in the Pro Controllers. And I've owned 3 different Pro Controllers, and I've had the issue happen in every single one. So it's just like the Joy-Con drift. It's not something Nintendo has ever addressed and is likely ever going to fix. I do like the Pro Controllers. They work really well. For me, usually for like the first 2 months, and then by then the grind starts to get dust in there, and it just starts to not work as well. Like in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 with my last Pro Controller, I literally could not sprint forward. I can only sprint sideways because the grind and the dust got in there, and then I'd have to clean it out to fix it, and it's just a pain in the butt. So I said nope. Yeah, that's all I can really say on that. Just nope. Let's see here. Qwerty the Birdie says, for next-gen Switch, if one comes, I expect that it will support up to 4K in docked mode and 1080p in handheld / tabletop mode. So about that, it will, in my opinion anyways, it will not support native 4K. I want to be clear here. To support a native 4K resolution requires insane power. Even people with a 2080 Ti, $1,000 plus graphics card can barely get native 4K with playable frame rates on a lot of PC games. Okay? What is happening with these next-gen systems is insane. Because Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 will not be $1,000 and will have native 4K. They are using tech that should be, on the consumer level, way too expensive to get at the prices these systems are at. They are absolutely going to lose money per system sold if they actually want the systems to sell. So the thing is, Nintendo Switch is not going to be native 4K because they're not going to have the power to push native 4K, nor should they. What is more likely going to happen, since there's a good chance that it supports DLSS 2.0 and has some RTX tensor cores in there, is that it's going to use those tensor cores to upscale your game to 4K. So it'll take a 1080p image and it'll apply some very top-end, high-end, best upscaling in the world to make it display at 4K, but it'll never be native 4K. I think checkerboard rendering, stuff like that they've done for 4K on Xbox One X and PlayStation 5 for some games, where they're not really native 4K, but they use rendering techniques. Well, this is a rendering technique that is built into the software and built into the hardware of the actual system to do that. So basically, it's like including your own upscaler. Nintendo putting their own upscaler, or Nvidia putting their own upscaler in there. That's going to lead to it looking really, really clean, but it's not actually true 4K. It's still just outputting a native 1080p. And that's what you want it to do. I'm going to be clear on this. You do not want the next-gen Nintendo Switch in docked mode to output and display true native 4K, because games are going to have to be cut back so much for you to even get a 4K resolution on a mobile chipset that it's going to be worthless. You'd rather have 1080p and then pushing the highest visual fidelity out of that 1080p than worrying about the 4K resolution. Resolution is a clarity setting. It's not like as an example, the Halo Infinite footage we saw was 4K native, but it didn't necessarily look that impressive. Is that what you want on the next Switch? You want 4K native, but then the games don't actually look that good? You'd rather have the focus be on the visuals than the resolution. So, yes, there'll be more power, but you want that power to be put into the visuals of the game, the resolution of the game, or not the resolution, the frame rate of the game, than into the resolution. You'd rather the resolution hit that 1080p mark and stay there, and then use DLSS 2.0 to display a 1440 or a 4K image on your TV. And I think that's exactly what Nvidia and Nintendo is planning, so they can make 4K look nice on the next-gen Switch. Because right now, I have a 4K TV right there, 65-inch 4K TV. It does not, it's blurry as hell. Now, you can get an M cable for like $120, $150, and that makes it look better, but that's an accessory. Like, something built in with the system, I think, is going to be there. I talked about before that I think they should put it in the dock if they're going to have their own upscaler, but it sounds like that they're going to be able to use the DLSS 2.0 to pull it off. So that is, so you shouldn't, it can support 4K, like it can output, they can display 4K, but it would never be native 4K. It'll always be a 1080p upscaled for now. We don't have the mobile technology that's even remotely close to affordable to try to actually have true 4K gaming in a mobile form. Doomslayer says, too early for a new Switch. Well, no duh. I said 2023. Liam Andre says 2023 as well. And Unbiased Nintendo says, announcing a next-gen Switch soon would be an extremely shitty business move. Why kill all the potential money they can make by waiting a few more years? They're not. Again, guys, they're not announcing a next-gen Switch soon. They've increased their research and development, which means they're making one. That's all that means. They're making one, right? They're working on next-gen Switch right now. NVIDIA's hiring for a next-gen Switch right now. Okay? Those are the facts. Nintendo has increased their research and development by 122%, which signifies them working on a new generation system. And then NVIDIA is literally hiring people for Tegra to make a next-gen chip for a home console. So or for a gaming console, they call it. So yes, there is a next generation Switch currently in development. It doesn't mean it's coming out anytime soon. It takes years of development before these systems come out. You think they developed the Xbox Series X overnight? They've been working on that thing 3, 4, 5 years. Same with the PlayStation 5. The same thing with the next gen Switch. They just started working on it now, and they're going to keep working on it until it comes out. So it's going to be 2-3 years from now. Minimum. They are not going to announce it anytime soon. Got to remember, rumors about the Xbox Series X date back 4 years. Like, come on now. It's going to be a while. Marshadow Pokemon says, what if Nintendo Switch Online adds GameCube and N64 games to a library and keeps a $20 price tag? Do you really, my question is, knowing Nintendo, do you really think they're going to add N64 and GameCube games to that online service? Do you really think they're going to do it? I'm being sincere here. Knowing how Nintendo values their games, do you really think they're going to put those kind of games on there? I don't. I think there's no way in hell. I'd love to be proven wrong, but I think no way in hell it's happening. Segwin the Pikachu fan, welcome to the stream. Says the only online from Nintendo that tends to stay the same is the eShop, and the eShop needs to be improved. They need to look at how Netflix organizes things and take some notes. But then again, Nintendo's on the outs with Netflix, so it is what it is. Clayton Saint CYR is here. He says, "What's up, Nate? I got lucky yesterday. Found a Switch for my girlfriend's birthday on August 5th. I'm told I'm a great boyfriend. Nice, man. Congrats." Liam Andre says, but the things I want when they release the next-gen Switch is fix the Joy-Con drift. I want them to do that, fix that in the Pro. And add more storage and make the Switch just screen because the black outline is covering up. Yeah, you mean the borders. What do they call it? I just said it earlier this stream. Anyways, I know what you mean. Get rid of the bezel. That's what it is. Get rid of the bezel. They do need to get rid of the bezel. Like our phones and everything are so bezel-less that they need to get rid of the bezel, which means a higher quality screen, which, by the way, there's rumors on a higher quality screen and a partnership between Nintendo and a company for that dating back a couple of years now. That was part of the Switch Pro rumors as well. That if that's not in the Pro, then it would be probably in the next-gen Switch. John Early said, did you like that moment in E3 history when Microsoft introduced the Xbox 360 redesign by hiding it in an OG 360 shell and then lifting it up to introduce the design? Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a neat reveal. That's right up there with Iwata pulling the Wii out of his jacket. Like that's up there, man. That is up there with the reveals. That's for sure. And Unbiased Nintendo says the release time for Nintendo consoles can vary depending on if the console isn't selling well. The N64 and GameCube both had a 5-year lifespan. The Wii sold better, so it had a 6-year lifespan. Again, yes, you're right. And launching in 2023 would be a 6-year lifespan. If they launch holiday of 2023, it would be a 6-year lifespan for Switch. Hence why, and Switch is successful for Nintendo anyways, so 2023 is more than likely the year it'll come out. Do you think Nintendo will solve the Joy-Con drift? Says Flippin', welcome to the stream, man. Doomslayer, welcome as well. I want to say yes, that they will solve Joy-Con drift, but they're aware of it and it's still not solved. So, even if they release a Switch Pro, I don't know if they're going to fix it. I hope so, but unless the Switch Pro releases, I'm going to say no. I think they're just going to ride and die with it. Which sucks. But it's like the N64 controller that had really bad control sticks. Like, really bad. We all know about the loose control sticks and the cracking and the grinding and that thing that would pop. And that never got fixed. So I think Nintendo's just going to ride or die with it. Unless they release a Switch Pro, then there might be a slight redesign to it, but I don't know. An unbiased Nintendo fan says it really depends on how badly the PlayStation 5 and Series X affect the Switch and its sales. Switch doesn't get affected too hard, then I expect 20. Yeah, I don't think the Switch is going to get too affected in year one. Supposing that Nintendo has good games coming next year. If they got some big games, and we know Breath of the Wild 2 is one of them. So like if they have good games coming, then I think it'll be okay next year. It'll be interesting to see what happens in 2022. More than 2021. The Switch does not really need 4K because of its cartoony art style. What are you talking about? The Switch itself isn't cartoony. You mean Nintendo doesn't need 4K? Nintendo has realistic looking games too. Have you played a Xenoblade game? But 4K is just clarity. It's not graphic fidelity. People confuse resolution and graphic fidelity, and it's stupid. 4K is nothing but a resolution. Nothing but a resolution. Has nothing to do with the actual... It's a visual clarity thing, basically. Has nothing to do with the actual graphics of a game. So it doesn't matter if the graphics are cartoony or realistic. The resolution does not matter for that. Resolution is just about visual clarity. And even cartoony graphics, visual clarity matters. It's like watching a 4K episode of some cartoon today versus the old 480p episode of a cartoon from yesteryear. Obviously, the 4K one looks better, but the graphics didn't necessarily change. It's just visual clarity. That's all. So cartoony has nothing to do with 4K or not 4K. Let me see here. I'm going to go out and say next Switch is in 2021, says Maui5. Welcome to the stream. Man, you're wrong, but that's okay. Only Nintendo knows, to be fair. So I can be like wrong, but I mean, you could be right. Trax Zeros here says, greetings, Nate, and everyone. Welcome, man. Joel G is, did you talk about the next gen Switch leaks? I have been talking about them, Joel G, almost the whole time. Doomslayer said the only thing I want is space size. Hopefully 1 terabyte. Yeah, it's not happening. You're not getting 1 terabyte of flash storage in a Switch. It would literally cost them like $700 to release the next gen Switch then. And while I would be willing to pay that, not everyone's willing to pay that. I would like a dock upgrade to boost the current Switch performance. It won't happen. I know they talked about that, Jinchurky89, welcome to the stream. They talked about in a patent, a supplemental computing device, but I don't think it's going to happen. Fire Soul, welcome to the stream, man. Nice to see you around. Haven't seen you in a while. Plays Xenoblade Chronicles 1, but it's still more of a cartoon game compared to something like The Last of Us. Sure. I can agree on that front. But there's more to it than that, in my opinion anyways. There's more to it than that. Wait for Metroid Prime 4. Just wait. Nintendo doesn't tend to go for the hyper-realistic. But it doesn't mean those games don't exist on Switch. Witcher 3 is on Switch as an example. John Early, do you think the Switch has the potential to be the next PlayStation 2 in terms of longevity? I mean, the PS2 was a monster with how many units it sold. I mean, the PlayStation 2 was on a normal console generation cycle. It just kept selling even after. But a lot of that was the modding community. A lot of that was DVDs, because they played DVDs and CDs, or played CDs or whatever. So I think I played both actually. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be that have that type of longevity because it doesn't have the multi-purpose use that the PlayStation 2 had for hackers, modders, and playing DVDs. So no, it won't. It'll. I think Switch will sell 100 million units. I think it might even top the Wii numbers. You might get to 110 million. I don't think it's going to touch PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 might be literally untouchable at 150 whatever million it sold. It might literally be untouchable, but we'll see. Speaking of cartoons, Warner Brothers is releasing a Batman Red Hood trilogy. Cool. The only thing I want is Goku and Smash. I doubt it'll happen, Fire Soul. I think that was like Goku and Smash specifically was shot down by Sakurai like a long time ago. But maybe I'm wrong. Kib Squib 48's here. Welcome to the stream. An unbiased Nintendo fan says the Switch needs to be powerful enough to bridge the gap. If they make it as powerful as the current PlayStation 4, Xbox One, that would still be far too behind the PlayStation 5 and Series X. I think it's interesting. There's been so many advancements in technology since 2015 that I think they could get a next-gen Tegra chip if they have a sweet deal with NVIDIA. I don't know what their contract is with NVIDIA, but if it's a really sweet deal, they could pull off a next-gen chip that hits, 3-ish teraflops, which isn't quite PlayStation 4 Pro level. That is ahead of PlayStation 4, but it isn't quite PlayStation 4 Pro. So I think, personally, it'll be something that is closer to PlayStation 4 Pro levels of power, but not quite, but more powerful than a PlayStation 4. I think it's going to be kind of an in-between. And will that be enough? I don't know. Only the third-party developers will let you know if it's enough. And again, you're talking enough to get third-party ports at that point, because you're always going to get Nintendo games regardless of the power. Maui 5, if the next Switch comes out in 2021, they need a Switch Pro. I mean, they need a Switch Pro next year. Next gen Switch isn't coming out until 2023. Joel G is here. Welcome. He says, I'm looking forward to a higher end Switch, much like a prototype Alienware handheld. Oh my gosh. That prototype Alienware handheld was sick. It'll never come out, but it was sick. SSRCR85, welcome to the stream. Says Nate Dogg. Nate Dogg, welcome. Put Captain Caveman in Smash. The Warner Bros. Acquisition by Microsoft would make their killer instinct for Mortal Kombat finally. Yeah, well, they have to lock that down first. Right now, it's only rumored that they were trying to purchase it. Maybe they're not even for sale. You know, I don't know. I don't work there, so I got nothing. I got nothing, as they say, or as I say, I suppose. Had to keep the streak alive. We hadn't had a super chat yet during this stream, so had to keep this. We've had at least one super chat in every single stream this month. Keeping it alive to end the month here. Although technically, we do have the Nintendo Prime podcast streaming live tonight at 8 p.m. Central. Be sure to tune into that. We will have Daniel back from last week. You guys know him as Captain Bergeson, etc. So if you enjoyed his presence last week, he is back again this week. Whoop, 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 whoop. We also have Joey Ferris from Ferris Wheel Gaming or something like that. Hold on, let me check. Ferris Wheel Pro. Or the Ferris. Hold on. I'm trying to get that YouTube channel correct. From Ferris Wheel Pro. Yeah. He's a small time YouTuber. We only got about 3K subs. But I've been chit chatting with him for a long time. He's gonna be on the podcast tonight along with Daniel from last week. So it should be a good time. We'll be talking about lots of Nintendo goodness. We'll be talking next gen Switch. We'll also be talking just a lot of stuff. We have a lot of stuff. I don't want to tease too much of it. So you guys show up to the podcast and listen to it for yourselves and get other people's thoughts besides mine. You guys get my thoughts every single day, but now you can get some other people's thoughts on stuff. So it'll be nice. And there's a Q&A section in that as well. The last half hour is Q&A. Cheers to Nintendo Prime. Man, there's a lot of head on that. That was like not even a shot. I gotta let that head settle. That's like pure head. That's what she said. The handle I'm waiting for PC handle is the Aya Neo. I doubt it releases, but we'll see. SSR CR85 says, do you want a less cartoony, more realistic Zelda like the one they demoed before the GameCube came out? I'm dying to have something like that. So you're talking... Wait. Hold on. I'm going to show this live. There's... I don't know if you're referring to the one that I think you're referring to. There's two different tech demos they've done. There's the Space World 2000 demo. Okay, I'm going to show this one. All right. I don't know how many people have seen this because, I mean, this is 20 years ago. So I'm going to show this to you guys. So are you talking about this demo here? So this was the Space World 2000 demo. Okay. So this is the one that would have predated GameCube. But I'm not sure if this is the one you're talking about. I mean, it's realistic, obviously really blurry for the time period. But this was the Space World 2000 tech demo for Zelda. Okay. All right. A game that never existed. It was nothing but a tech demo. And then there was the Wii U Zelda tech demo as well. Again, these are two things that never... Now, a lot of you guys probably are more familiar with this one. This one shot off screen. Hold on. Let's get one that's on screen. Here we go. This looks like, yeah, there we go. This one was direct screen recorded. So this is the other one that was a Wii U tech demo. Now, to me, I'd rather see a Zelda in this art style than the Space World one. And I think this one's a pretty realistic art style too. But this is basically the Twilight Princess art style, but enhanced. So that's just me personally. I would like to see a Zelda in that style. However, I love the Breath of the Wild art style. Absolutely love the Breath of the Wild art style. So because I love the Breath of the Wild art style, I'm totally cool with it staying that way. So, all right, finally I have a shot that isn't all head. So, I'm cool. Breath of the Wild art style can be the art style forever. I think the Breath of the Wild art style, even though you wouldn't call it realistic, I feel like it's pretty realistic. Like, it's realistic but colorful. Does that make sense? I think that describes the Breath of the Wild art style pretty well. It's a colorful, realistic game. In my opinion. I know the PlayStation 4, 3, 4, and 5 are technically more powerful than the PS2, but I would like to know which PlayStation is your favorite, excluding the PS5 for obvious reasons. Yours is the PS2. I default to the PS3 because it's the only one I own. So, wasn't he part of Commonwealth Realm? I actually don't know. You can ask him that during the stream. I don't remember if he was part of Commonwealth Realm or not. Do I want a Wind Waker 2? Yeah. Wind Waker is awesome. But we already got, like, Phantom Hourglass was the direct sequel. And then Spirit Tracks was the sequel to that. So we kind of got a trilogy. We just didn't get it on home console. I want more developers to utilize the touchscreen of the Nintendo Switch when playing in handheld. I've never seen that game before. The Space one looks cool. Space World one? Yeah, Space World 2000. Yeah, I know a lot about Zelda stuff because I ran Zelda websites for 20 plus years. So my Zelda knowledge is like through the roof. Hence the shelf of Zelda, which isn't even that impressive of a Zelda collection. I used to have a much bigger Zelda collection, but let's see here. I would love janky graphics like that. Imagine going back in time through the Master Sword and you go to the N64 graphics into the ancient times, the 16-bit Gs. Breath of the Wild art style is the most wholesome, says Joel G. Is that your first time talking, Joel G? No, it's not. I think I welcomed you before. Cool. Yeah. I like the Breath of the Wild art style because it's realistic, but it's colorful. It's like a colorful realism. And I like that. I meant the Space World one, but I'd never seen the Wii U one. Yeah, dude. Dude, you never seen the Wii U one? Dude, the Wii U one was massively popular. I mean, things got... Well, this one's like 25,000 views. Hold on, like 116,000. The IGN video on it has 2.8 million views. This Chris Neo video has 1.7 million views. It's a well-known tech demo. Well-known. But think about that. Think about this, though. That tech demo that everyone was so impressed with that it showed off the power of the Wii U has, the top video has 2 million views on it, right? 2 million views. All right, so I'm scrolling down here. And then here's the Breath of the Wild official game trailer from E3 2016. 16 million! To say Nintendo got something right, and this is back before Breath of the Wild came out, to say Nintendo got something right with Breath of the Wild is a massive understatement. For them to go away from that art style and that style of gameplay would be absolutely ludicrous. Nintendo needs to ride the wave. And we'll see what Breath of the Wild 2 does. If Breath of the Wild 2 also blows up and does 15 plus million copies sold, I don't know how Nintendo goes away from that. Nintendo has messed with the Zelda art style a billion times. But if they can go back to back 15 plus million, how do you just not keep using that art style? Like, I just don't know. I just don't know how you go away from it. I don't want to. I don't want this era to end. I never understand the term realistic. That's because it means something different to different people. I really like the cell shaded Breath of the Wild art style. I hope if Nintendo Switch gets some actual horsepower, the graphical issues that set the Breath of the Wild graphic could be fixed. I hope so too. Shadow King 1982 says Breath of the Wild 2 needs to fix the sudden rainstorms that mess up your climbing, especially when it comes out of nowhere. That was a gameplay mechanic. They did that on purpose. That was intentional. There's nothing to fix. It was an intended, forceful mechanic in the game. It was to force you to not always be able to climb all the time, so you had to think critically and try other methods. I know it got annoying to some people, but that was intended. It was intentional. It's nothing to fix. That's just a choice they made. It would be cool if Twilight Princess got ported to the Switch. Twilight Princess HD needs to come. The Breath of the Wild looks timeless. I agree there. Firesoul says, my favorite PlayStation is PS2 because it's the only one I've owned. Same with me for PlayStation 3. It's the only one I've owned. So that's the one that's my favorite by default. Generally says, have you heard of Dark Cloud and Dark Cloud 2? They're action RPG dungeon crawlers. They sound familiar, but I've never played them. I was hoping that Twilight Princess looked like that tech demo. Yeah. Twilight Princess looked really good on Wii U, says Mercurius. Welcome to the stream, Mercurius. Yeah, it looked good. It wasn't, to me, it wasn't that impressive of a remaster, or an HD of a game. But it was good. It was better than the original game. So Breath of the Wild 2 should add faster eating. What? Since when is the eating speed a problem? Man, you guys are coming up with some criticisms that never bothered me. Nintendo is Nintendo. They always will look for some new art style depending on how they think it suits their ever-changing gameplay. That's Nintendo. Not entirely true, since they're working on another Zelda game in the exact same art style that's a direct sequel, and they barely ever do that in Zelda. If you look at the history of Zelda development, they don't do that often. And like when they did it with Majora's Mask sold like shit. If Majora's Mask would have blew up and sold like Ocarina of Time did, they would have made another one in that art style. But it didn't blow up. Hence why they don't do direct sequels very often. But if Breath of the Wild 2 blows up, they're not going away from it. It's all about sales. Nintendo's a business. They're not stupid. Breath of the Wild sold in a way that Nintendo didn't even know Zelda games could sell. It is more than double the sales of the next best-selling Zelda game. More than double. It is in a category of its own. It's like the rest of the series doesn't even exist. That's how awesome Breath of the Wild sold. So if Breath of the Wild 2 comes close to those kind of sales, no way in hell Nintendo abandons that. Nintendo cares about money, 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 money. They ain't going to walk away from that. They only did it in the past because the sequels didn't sell that well. But this is a different time, and I think Breath of the Wild 2 is going to freaking kill it. It's going to go over 10 million easily. Easily over 10. Question is, can it get up to where the current Breath of the Wild game is? I don't know. We'll find out. Depends on if Breath of the Wild 2 can come out this holiday or like by summer of next year. Yes, I think it can hit 15 million. But if it's like a late, like if it's a holiday 22 and they're launching their next gen system in 2023, that's going to slow down the sales on it. Although they'll probably release a remastered or upgraded version with the next system, of course. I hope that Breath of the Wild 2 doesn't just keep getting delayed until the next gen system. That's always possible as well. I hope that doesn't happen. It would, but it would happen over and over, and they need to adjust the frequency of the rainstorms. I felt in many of my playthroughs it was always raining. There were certain sections of the game that it was supposed to be always raining to force you to not be able to do the obvious thing. Like I know one of the towers you had to unlock, it was raining on purpose. You were supposed to get to the top of the tower despite the rain. That was part of the challenge. So, to you, it was really annoying. And there's a lot of annoying things people are annoyed about in Breath of the Wild. But, like, it was an intentional design choice to force you to actually think differently than you usually do. Just like the weapons breaking. Forceful design choice to make you think differently than you usually do. So, it feels annoying, but that's because the game's trying to be like, hey, there's more than one way to do this shit. Figure it out. Yeah, and that's what I was saying with Breath of the Wild 2. If Breath of the Wild 2 releases this holiday or by summer of next year, it'll be fine. But if it waits until holiday of 2022 and then their next gen system releases a year later, that's near the end of the Switch's lifespan, and that's going to affect the long-term sales of it. Although Majora's Mask launch sales were not very good either for a Zelda game. So, it ended up selling okay in the end, but it wasn't a very good launch sales compared to. You gotta remember, they were comparing it to Ocarina of Time. Faster eating, that's a criticism, apparently. I mean, instead of opening up the pause menu, you should be able to eat using the same thing you use to switch weapons. Okay. That's more of a UI design element you want fixed. Do you think Breath of the Wild give the player too much freedom? Hell no. Hell no. Give me more of that freedom, Nintendo. Hell no. Let me skip the tutorial area and go straight to the end boss in the next game. Let's go. Hell no. Give me more freedom. Gosh darn it. Let me build a damn airplane and fly all over the map. Let's go. Give me that freedom. Give me that freedom, man. Just like we have in the real world. Give me that freedom to go anywhere and do anything I want and let me get in trouble if I'm not supposed to be there. So no, not too much freedom. That freedom was awesome. I loved it. General says, do you think Mario Odyssey 2 is a possibility? Absolutely. Not only do I think it's a possibility, I think it's a certainty that we're getting Mario Odyssey 2. Might leave it Mario, you guys. Mario Odyssey just retells the plot of the original, or at least that's what Scott the Waz says. I wouldn't say that it it doesn't really retell the plot of the original. It just follows the same kind of way. How do I explain that? So someone else explain it better. Pop it open, baby. J-Lo hits us with the 9 wants me to pop open that hypnotic, gets me out of trouble of trying to explain the Mario Galaxy 2 story. Someone else is more knowledgeable on it should probably talk about it. I love Mario Galaxy 2, but like I don't think about the story plot lines with any Mario game I play. So pop it open. We got, what is this? Is this a cork? No, it's a twist cap. Oh, it's a cork. It's a cork in a cap. A cork in a cap. Ooh. Let's try this hypnotic now. I've never had hypnotic. True story. It's my first shot of hypnotic. Let's pour this shot for the first time trying a new booze. Here we go. Popping that cork. Ba-bam. That would be better chilled. That is definitely a shot that would be better chilled. Maybe after the stream, I'll go put this in I got a mini fridge over here in my office. Not too shabby. That's not too shabby. That would definitely be better chilled, though. Not too shabby. But that's definitely a chilled shot. Thank you so much for the support, JLo. I appreciate it. Let's see here. We got 45 minutes to go on the stream, folks. Boom! Popping off. Remember all the super chat goodness over here. Popping these bottles, getting these shots are rolling. Heck. I'm going to add this one in here. Hold on. I don't think it's going to happen today, but I'm going to add this one in here just because I happen to have it. Where's my filter here? No, not filter. That's not what I want to do. I want to edit. Dang it. I need to go to properties. We got the 5, 10, 15. Where's that $20 spot needs to be added back in? Because you know what's being added in. I can't do getting iced right now, but I can. There we go. Add that in. Toss it over. Bam. Oh, whoops. That's in the wrong spot. So now the $20 one appears below the 25. I didn't want to do that. Let's grab that again. Delete. There we go. So I just normally for $20 I'll get iced and chug a Smirnoff Ice, but we will do a shotgun this beer up for $20 if we get to that point. All right, thank you so much, JLo, for that support. Freedom is good, says Doomslayer. Mario Maker 2 will always be my favorite Nintendo games. Nice, Neil Agasto. Legend of Zelda Nuts and Bolts. No! Did they do a golden cartridge for Majora? Yes, they did. Yep, I owned it. A Majora's Mask golden cartridge, yep. 2 types of Zelda fans. People who want it linear and people who want it open. Yep. It's more like people who like the way Breath of the Wild was versus people who like dungeon crawlers. Because linear Zeldas had way more dungeons. Galaxy 2 is basically Peach gets captured again and you have to rescue her again. Okay. You realize you just gave me the plot line to every Mario game. Galaxy 2, Peach gets captured again. You have to rescue her again. Like every Mario game. Your princess is in another castle. You mean they just stole the plotline from the very first game? That's why it's like, oh, it stole the plotline from Galaxy 1. You mean the same plotline that's in every single Mario game? Is Hypnotic strong? Not too strong. 17%. 17%. It is a vodka, I believe. A premium French vodka. But yeah, it's only 17%. It's not bad. Like this wine, this is a cheaper wine, so it's only 6%. The beer is a little bit lower, I think 5.5. This is the stuff that gets me in trouble. 40%. Like if I even did what's left in here, which is probably like 2 or 3 shots, if I did this right now on stream in the next like 40 minutes, half hour or whatever, I would be smashed. Oh boy. I don't mind being smashed. I'm just saying that I would be smashed. That will sneak up on you. Hypnotic will sneak up on me. Will it? It is a vodka, so I guess it could theoretically sneak up on me. Miyamoto stopped the story of Genius called Yoshiaka Koizumi Galaxy 2. Can we get a Waluigi game? That'd be sweet. Do you think? I think you should play with the Mario Paint Composer if you're into that sort of thing. I have played with the Mario Paint Composer back in the day. I wasn't very good at it. Neil Agasso's got to head out. Later, Neil. Peace out. Thanks for joining the stream. Hope you had a good time. Fire Soul says Mario Galaxy 2 just basically follows the exact same storyline as the first game and doesn't really add anything new apart from gameplay. Well, a serious question. Who played some? Like, raise your hand right now in the chat, or like do a thumbs up in the chat, or whatever, or a smiley face, something like that. If you play Mario platforming games for the story, thumbs up, smiley face in the chat. If you play Mario platforming games for the damn story. Like, I don't remember the story in any of the Mario platforming games, any of them, because I have never played a Mario platforming game, and I'm saying that specifically because there's other types of Mario games, but like the mainline Mario games, I've never once played them for the story. I don't remember a single story other than Princess Peach being captured again and again and again. Like Odyssey is like my favorite like Switch exclusive game, and I do not remember any of the story beyond Bowser kidnapping Peach, and I guess there was like a marriage thing or something. I don't know. I don't really remember because it's not why I played. Mr. Pete 1985, welcome to the stream. Bro, spoilers! Welcome, Mr. Pete, by the way. I haven't seen you in a long time. Look at this. We got a few people in the chat. You guys actually play Mario games for the story? Damn, I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you because Mario there's not a lot of depth to the stories. Well, good to see some people do it, unless you guys are just trolling me. Are you guys trolling me? Nestor Alvarado, welcome to the stream, man. He says, I respect how you handle running. I'm sure you meant running, not rubbing. Do I rub my YouTube channel? I mean, I rub the mic sometimes. Just make some sweet love to it. No, I like how you. I respect how you handle running a YouTube channel and raising 3 kids. Keep up the great content. Your family depends on your continued success. Yeah, I mean, I'm not alone in supporting my family, but yeah. Obviously, YouTube helps support things at the house too. But yeah, thanks so much, Nestor. I do. I'm trying really hard to find that balance of doing this and other work and raising my kids and college and everything. Finding that balance in life is hard, but I feel like I've hit a good balance. Second, the Pikachu fan says Miyamoto has been trying to stop Koizumi for years, and if Koizumi hadn't done what he did, we would not have gotten Link's Awakening, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Sunshine, and Galaxy. You mean his flipping of the tea tables? I don't really, but the story of Galaxy kind of makes me want more of it. What the fuck? No, never for the story, says JNC. Welcome to the stream, JNC. Actually, I think you were here earlier. John says, Arlo plays Paper Mario 1 and 2 for the story. And the dude made videos about it. Yes. Paper Mario. Paper Mario is not mainline Mario games. I'm talking mainline Mario games. Mercurius says, yep, he's actually serious about it after Mario 3. Damn. The story of Mario Kart's 10 out of 10, to be honest. That's awesome. Awesome, JLo. Cat C, welcome to the stream, Cat C. I never played a Mario game in my life except Mario Kart 8, the one on the Wii U. Damn. Cat C. Oh, maybe you don't like platformers. It's okay. Like, I'm not big into a shooter. Oh, Vash Rain. Vash Rain. Vash Rain. Welcome to the damn stream, Vash Rain. Hits me with a $5. Make you holler super chat. Let me get this all rolled up for you while I read this here. We get your shot of wine. Would you like to see a futuristic Zelda with hover bikes, laser swords, and a cyborg Link? Fully futuristic Hyrule. In some ways, absolutely. There was hold on. Especially not something that we had the Master Cycle. Cheers. Let me take this quick. There was concept art out there. A fake futuristic that people were believing for a while was real back in the day. Fake. Let me see if I can find some images of it. Fake futuristic Zelda game. God, where was it? There was a really believable image of it where Link was on a motorcycle in a city. And it looked really good. In other words, I wouldn't be against it. I can't find it right this second, but because I can't remember what the name of that game was, but I wouldn't be against it. I would not be against it. I prefer medieval ages and magic and all that stuff, but I would not be against at least a dip into a futuristic cyborg Link, hover bikes, etc., lasers. I would not be against that stuff. Well, there are lasers in Zelda already, but laser swords, I wouldn't be against it. No. You can argue there's laser swords because of the electric swords that electrocute you in Skyward Sword. But anyways, the point is, I wouldn't be against it. And I feel like visiting the world that predates Skyward Sword, because in Skyward Sword, there's a whole lot of really futuristic tech that's from the past. I wouldn't mind a game that goes to that past and we find out at one point the world of Hyrule did have hover bikes and laser swords and the cyborgs and all this stuff, but then like there's an apocalyptic event that ended all of it, and then kind of reset people back to the Stone Age. I would like kind of a Zelda game like that. Absolutely. Flippin says, yeah, I play the Mario and Luigi games and Paper Mario for the story. I can agree on that front. Mars Shadow Pokemon says, I get excited whenever Peach doesn't get captured in a Mario game. Hey, they're trying something different. Fire Soul, you probably are the only person that prefers Paper Mario Sticker Star over the other ones. You are probably the only person in the world. You're the first person I've ever seen say that. Mario Odyssey is great gameplay. I agree on that front. Mario Bros. Wii was the last time I was excited for a Mario Bros. Game since the fact it brought 4-player on-screen multiplayer. Nice. Yeah, I played the hell out of that one back in the day. Sing the Mario 1 Overworld song, because that song is just burned into my memory and I want to hear you sing or hum it. Do, 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 do. Anyways, that's all you're getting out of me. I don't want to sit here for like the next minute doing a really bad impression of the Mario 1 Overworld song. Zelda teases all the future tech so much that I'd like to see it for once. That's what I'm saying. There's all this teasing of it, which means a world existed where this was it. That tech, like even Breath of the Wild, right? The Guardians. Clearly, there was an era somewhere in that 10,000 year period where there was all this futuristic tech. Wouldn't it be freaking sweet to visit that era in an actual Zelda game? And it's like it's like a cyberpunk kind of Zelda in a way. But like obviously something happened that made it all go away. Like that would be so cool. I'm not against that at all. Zelda has teased a cyberpunk version of their world existing for so long, but we've never been able to visit it. So the thing is, I think it's actually part of Hyrule's history. We just haven't been there yet. So I'm not even going to rule it out. Nintendo might decide to go there someday. And it'll be very interesting to see how the public reacts to a cyberpunk style Zelda game. Because there's eras that existed that clearly were very much like that. Let's see here. Ultimate Keymaster, we talks about how there was a plan for it originally. Yeah. Do you think that Link... hold on. Jinkuri89 says, do you think that Link wished to separate the evolution of Zora to be a species as individual to the Rito? What? What would Link... What? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, Jinkuri89. I need more backstory there. The Artisan, welcome to the stream, says the new item in Breath of the Wild 2, a set of mechanical wings that Link can attach to his arms, which will allow him to fly like a Rito and traverse quickly about the overworld. Damn. It's like you should be on the development team right now. One of the idea makers. They should just hire you right now. Because damn. I said god damn, what a rush. That would do that the first time you take flight would just be insane. Insane. Why do people prefer more the Mario and Luigi games or the Paper Mario games? I personally prefer the Mario and Luigi games. I don't know. I couldn't answer that. I'm not huge fans of either of them, but I enjoy them when I do play them. I don't really have a preference for which one I like more. I get that so many JRPGs and such do that future past tech thing, but they generally only have enough time for one game. Zelda does it several times, and Wild went ham on teasing, so let's do it already. That's what I'm saying. Like, there was Skyward Sword had a lot of teasing of it. Breath of the Wild had a lot of teasing, and like those were like the last two games, and they're at two completely different spectrums of the Zelda timeline. Clearly, there's been multiple eras of hitting cyberpunk level of tech, and just not actually having a game take place in those time periods. So it would be cool to finally get there. In the Wind Waker, the Rito state that they evolved from the Zora. Yes, I know this. Yep. Yeah, I know, but I know what you meant. I know, but I'm just saying that I know that the Rita evolved from Zora. I know that. Basically, you want Zelda to be like Final Fantasy VII and not Final Fantasy VI, right, Nate? I never played Final Fantasy VII. Get out the pitchforks. I've never played the game, so I couldn't tell you. There has to be a way to fast travel in the air in the next game. We'll see. They've done that in Skyward Sword before, but it wasn't open though. It was a separate area. Let me see. We get a holiday game. What's your guess? I've been saying it all year. Breath of the freaking Wild 2, whatever they call it. The next Zelda game. I doubt it'll be a Loftwing. Be interesting if Loftwings returned. Just for story reasons. It'd be really interesting if they returned. I feel like I'd probably pick Mario and Luigi because they're far more consistent. Second, the Pikachu fan says, there was a new interview that confirmed Paper Mario is pretty much dead in terms of what the fans want. Well, yeah, Nintendo kind of does what they want. Final Fantasy VI had some steampunky elements, but more so 7. So same thing. I don't know. I can't compare what I want to something I haven't played. Heck, we prefer OG Paper Mario games because they were allowed to have some form of seriousness in the story. Mario and Luigi is consistently great, but is not allowed to take itself too seriously. Okay, well, at least you got an explanation. Vash Rain hits us again. Make you holla, Vash Rain. Thank you so much, Vash Rain, for the support. Let me pop off another little shot for you here. We got another question. How would you feel about a full RPG Zelda and or actual Super Mario RPG 2? Also, what do you think about Metroid Prime 4 to be like? Just pile in as many questions as you can into a $5 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Vash Rain. All right, so let's address this one at a time. You actually have like 4 questions in here. How would you feel about a full RPG Zelda? So we're talking like a Witcher style, an action adventure RPG, leveling up. We've had an RPG style Zelda game with Zelda 2, and it's my second favorite Zelda game of all time. Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link, second favorite Zelda game of all time. So I would love a full RPG Zelda game that goes in the vein of Witcher or something like that. That would be fantastic. As for an actual Super Mario RPG 2, fuck yeah. Bring it on. I want it. I wanted it 10 years ago, let alone right now. I want it. I've wanted it forever. Nintendo's not going to do it, but I want it. Also, what do you think Metroid Prime 4 would be like? I don't know. So, there's... Metroid Prime 4 it's hard to talk about because I'm not sure what they're going to do. Metroid has never been more popular than it is with the Prime series. So there's a lot of pressure on Retro, a lot of pressure on Metroid Prime 4 to make Metroid relevant. And make it relevant on a platform that is potentially the most popular home console, as Nintendo calls it anyways, platform of all time. And I don't know. Like, the big thing in Prime 3 was, we're going to have motion control aiming and all that. So in Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, it was mostly a lot of the same elements, but then you had the motion controls added on. So I don't know what they're going to do, or if it's like going to be more of the same? More of the same, but in HD? Or the more enemies on screen and higher detailed environments? I don't know. Like, Metroid Prime is like that franchise where I love everything they did in the first one, the second one, and the third one, to the point that I don't feel like I can give an opinion on how to make what they did better. Like, I can give opinions on how to make it better off of Other M and stuff like that, because I actually really enjoyed Other M. But obviously, there's some things I could do better with the voice acting and the scripting, and there's just some things that can be done better, even though that was not like Metroid Prime. Anyways, I liked Other M more than most people did. But like, when I look at the Prime series, I feel like that original trilogy is so close to like the perfect Metroid trilogy that can exist that I'm not sure what they could do except just giving me more. I just want more of what we got with Metroid Prime. Like, I just want more. I want more in HD with more enemies and just, more of those clever ball puzzles and everything. I just want more. That's it. I just want more. But Retro Studios seems to always do something clever every time, so we'll see what happens. But I just want more of what we've already gotten. There's not really anything, yeah. I guess that's really all I can say. I just want more. So if you played any of the original trilogy, like, I just want more of it. I can't get enough. The Paper Mario interview confuses me because it makes me think Paper Mario is needlessly restrictive when nothing else in Mario. Yeah, I know, it's really weird. Sab Vasquez, welcome to the stream. What up, Nate? This guy. Dude, last night's Lakers game was crazy. Even the game before, the Pelican and, what was it? Utah. The Utah Pelican game was also crazy. I also feel like the Pelicans, like, aren't trying to get in the playoffs. Like, you play Zion 15 minutes and then you don't play him in, like, the minutes that matter. So, I feel like they're, like, throwing their season. So, then what are they doing down there? Besides the NBA wanting Zion there. It's dumb. Anyways, Bucks game today. Got the Milwaukee Bucks starting back up today at 5:30. Hour and a half from now. By that time, I will be having dinner with my kids, and then we're editing, hopefully, a new episode of Prime News for you guys. That's right. I'm going to be making a Prime News episode today. You guys can start dropping some stories you want me to throw in there. I already have an idea for a few of them, but like, I got that Xbox story out today because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to fit it into Prime News today. That's why that's kind of its own standalone video. Plus, I had a little extra time earlier today. I may have the podcast tonight, so don't forget about the podcast. Anyways, I keep saying, but we're not allowed original stuff and yet make written exemptions for the actual. Yeah, it's weird. Dude, a Witcher type Zelda game that still has more of the tone of Zelda sounds great. Yep. I'm excited for Prime 4, but I legitimately am not sure what to do next. Metro Prime 4 is probably going to come out next gen Switch or release with the Switch Pro. Yeah, it's feeling more and more like Metroid Prime 4 potentially might be like a launch game. I don't think it's a launch game that can push units, but I think it's a game that if you pair it with a Mario or something that would do really well at launch. But we'll see. I don't know how far along it is. None of us know, but Nintendo. Mario and Luigi last game was Paper Jam. Wasn't a good game to end the series on. Austin 980 welcome, says the next Switch will probably have better graphics and be able to play current game at higher resolutions is my hope. I would love to see current games run smoother like Witcher 3 on Switch. That would be nice. Can we just pretend Dream Team was the last game if you want? Yeah, just pretend it. Just pretend. Sorry, you always ask me what spices to put on burgers to make them taste better. And she's asking me because I do all the cooking. She's like, "What spices can you put on burgers?" You can put any spice you want on a burger. I was giving her ideas for different spice combinations that I feel work really well on burgers. Let me see here. Because she's at work. She works in a group home and she has to cook dinner for the residents. So she wants to know what spices she could put on burgers because I do all the grilling and stuff here, and I guess she's gonna be grilling there. That's what I meant by Link wishing that they are separate species instead of being an evolutionary thing. Why would Link be wishing they're separate species? Sam Vasquez hits us with the $1, make you holler. That makes me put ghost pepper. Dude, ghost pepper is really good. Like if you cook the ghost pepper, on the burger, it's actually not that bad. But for her clients, her 4 people at that home, I would not suggest shit that she does that. Cheers. Thank you, Sam Vasquez, for the $1. I appreciate it. $1 make you holla. Let me see here. Don't do that then. I thought she was asking for Nate. Oh, for me, yeah. I'd put some cooked ghost pepper on, or like some cooked jalapeno, or something like that, a habanero. That I don't mind. You could shred that on there and cook it, and it'd be really good. But yeah, no, not for people at. She's asking for people at the place that she works at. Let me see here. Through the Triforce. Oh yeah, because you can make wishes on the Triforce. Link doesn't really make wishes, but it's a nice theory that he wished upon the Triforce for them to be separate. I don't think that's why they both exist in Breath of the Wild. I think the timelines converged. Because there's a timeline where the Rito don't exist and the Zoras are still there. And they all smashed into each other and converged through what's known as a Dragon Break. Look it up on my channel. Look up Breath of the Wild Dragon Break theory. Or is Breath of the Wild a Dragon Break? It is a really popular video on my channel by Daniel, who will be on the Nintendo Prime podcast tonight. I think Breath of the Wild is a Dragon Break. Dun 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 dun. And that's why they're both in there. It has nothing to do with anything Link did. Only A Link to the Past Link ever touched the full Triforce, so not really. Gonna start getting those Zelda theories rolling out there. Just like the Dragon Break theory. A theory I fully subscribe to and think Breath of the Wild proved. Dragon Break, baby. Dragon Break! The thing is that theory was made before Breath of the Wild came out, and it's amazing how well that theory holds up after Breath of the Wild came out. There's just even more and more evidence for it. It's crazy. One reason they're both in Breath of the Wild is because Nintendo said, oh my god, let's just kill the timeline and make everything exist at once. This is too complicated. Dragon Break! They did the same thing in Elder Scrolls, by the way. That's where Dragon Break comes from. Dragon Break! But yeah, I mean, the game takes place 10,000 years in the future, which means they basically reset the timeline and started over again with Breath of the Wild. Let's just be honest. Like, development reason-wise, they were tired of being restricted, so they just literally... They rebooted the Zelda series by not officially rebooting it. That's really what happened. Nintendo rebooted the series. They rebooted Zelda. They just didn't want to call it that because fans would have freaked the fuck out. Yeah, that Zelda timeline doesn't matter anymore. We restarted the whole series all over again with Breath of the Wild. What? Yeah, fans would have freaked out. So they avoided the freak out by just saying, oh yeah, it's 10,000 years in the future. So like anything could have happened in between. You don't even know. I saw that video, but Anuma shut that theory down, so that's why I'm guessing it's the only thing that makes sense. Anuma didn't really fully shut it down. Anuma has not confirmed what timeline. Anuma hasn't confirmed jack shit with the timeline. Breath of the Wild. He laughs. Anytime someone talks about the timeline stuff with Breath of the Wild, he just laughs. He says, oh, there's a place for it, but we're not going to tell you. Anuma is very coy about it. Because, again, they basically rebooted the Zelda series, and they don't want to tell you why. Blue's Clues official channel? Hi, we're the Blue Clues official... Blue, what the heck? Why would the... Hold on, is this legit? Do we legitimately have, like, Blue's Clues... Hold on. This has got to be a troll channel. Official channel. Hold on. There's no way they would call it the Blue's Clues official channel. No. Blue's Clues official channel is... Well, there's a Blue's Clues and You is the official channel for Blue's Clues. Yours is a troll... Well, not a troll channel, I guess. Or under the official channel... Yeah, the Blue's Clues official channel is not actually the official channel. Nice try, though. Thank you for subscribing. If you did subscribe. I don't see the subscription popping up, so I don't know if you actually subbed to the channel. But if you did, thank you. But yeah, you're not the official Blue's Clues channel. Blue's Clues, Blue's Clues. I grew up on that stuff. You post Blue's Clues. Well, clearly you post Blue's Clues. But like, you shouldn't call yourself the official channel when you're not the official channel. You could actually get in trouble if you if your channel becomes popular. You can get in trouble, and lawyers will come after you because your channel name is pretending to be something you're not. I'm just giving you that pro tip as a YouTuber. Like, I'm not saying stop posting clips, which is probably also against the law at this point. But if you're going to do that, you should not call yourself the official channel. Because official channel means you're trying to come off as like you are literally the show's official channel, and you're not. But thank you for watching the stream. Just giving you a little tip. YouTuber to YouTuber, like, change the name. It can be about Blue's Clues. I'm just saying, change the name. I should let you know, guy, that we are we're not really a children's channel here. Literally, our streams start off with a song that has a horse cock in it. So, this is very much an adult channel. I don't swear a ton, though, to be fair. But the Zelda timeline converged on Blue's Clues. Blue's Clues. See, why am I got the Dragon Break theory going? It's clearly the Blue's Clues theory. Read the description to your channel. The description of your channel says we post classic Blue's Clues content We won't accept rude comments from our community. We post kid-friendly videos. Join Blues, Steve, and Joe for exciting new adventures every week. I'm Tracy Page Johnson. I will post all the Blue Room episodes, and Blues Clues teaches colors, shapes, numbers, letters, and learning skills. Your videos average 20 to 40 views a video. You're not an official channel. I'm sorry. You're not an there's literally a Blues Clues official channel. You're not it. I'm sorry. I'm calling bullshit. I'm gonna keep calling bullshit on it. You are not officially sponsored by the makers of Blues Clues. You are technically posting what we considered illegal content on the internet. I'm just throwing that out there. Like, don't start claiming now that you're officially sponsored and an official channel of the Blues Clues company. That basically you are owned by Blues Clues. I should say, hold on, let me grab the company that owns Blues Clues. Hold on. Blues Clues. I forget who owns that one. I haven't watched that show in so long. Blues Clues is owned by, let's see here. Nickelodeon. That's right. So, like, you're telling me that you are a partner with Nickelodeon, that you're a partner channel to Nickelodeon, and only have 138 subscribers. That you are literally an official partner channel of Nickelodeon. With these weird copyrights. Made with KindMaster. Get out. I clicked on your video posted on July 31st, 2020. Blues Clues up and down all around 5-minute compilation. But it's got a watermark on it, made with KindMaster, which is a video editing software. Get out of here. You're not an official channel. What you're doing is technically against the law. I don't mind that you're doing it. There's lots of channels that do what you're doing, but I'm just saying that, like, dude, get rid of the official channel in your name. If your channel ever blows up, you're gonna get in so much trouble. If Nickelodeon catches wind of your channel, you're shut down like that. So be careful, all right? I'm trying to give you some actual advice. You can keep posting the clips and do what you want. Just don't draw attention to yourself by saying that you're some Nickelodeon channel when you're not. Let's see here. Never did I think a stream could get so derailed by Blues Clues. Yeah, me either. Then Nintendo will release Splatoon 3 on the Switch, or wait, next gen. I think Splatoon is going to be a once per generation game. But, I don't know. There's some theories out there that is coming next year because they started Splatfest up again. We have a huge clue that you aren't the official page, says Immortal Rooster. Welcome to the stream, dude. Not that the chat mark proves much these days. Yeah, dude, the chat mark doesn't prove hardly anything these days. It can't even get a, like, I can't even get a check mark. I am Nintendo Prime and I can't get a check mark. So, I mean, location, Afghanistan. The plot thickens. I never played Wind Waker HD, so I hope it gets ported to the Switch with all of the Wii U games. Cool. You should easily be getting 500k views if it was an official channel. I don't know about 500k. Let me see here. The official channel only has 216k subscribers. And they don't get 500k. But they do get hold on, close. But they get like 37, 61, 71, 86k. So they bounce between like 50 and 100k an episode that they put up. So, you know, they have some, you know, they have one from 2 weeks ago. I guess they got 1.9 million views. So they get some that get up there, 2 million, 300,000, 60,000, etc. So like they bounce all over the place. But that's the official channel. Like that's literally the official channel for Blues Clues. Tracy Page John, is that supposed to mean something to me? Oh, Tracy Page Johnson is one of the voices. So you're claiming that you're someone who works on the show. I'm Tracy Page Johnson. I just want to post content on Blues Clues. I'm going to be honest. hold on. Let me click on. I'm gonna be honest. If you're really Tracy Page Johnson, and maybe you are, I doubt it, but if you are, you currently are working on Blue's Clues and News, 2019 to present. You also worked on the original Blue's Clues from 1996 to 2006 and the spin-off Blues Room from 2004 to 2007. You are literally a person making a crap load of money from Nickelodeon. Why the hell would you be putting clips on YouTube that are against the law? There's no way in hell you're actually Tracy Page Johnson. I'm sorry. Tracy Page Johnson wouldn't have time to be putting clips. She'd be too busy working her actual job. spending time with her husband. Or your children, Thomas, Oliver, and Emmett. Heck. You wrote a book at one point. Like, there's no way in hell you'd be wasting your time putting little clips on the internet. Like, dude, hold on. Does she have a Twitter? She does have a Twitter. On her Twitter, though, it does not link to YouTube, though. I mean, if you really are Tracy Page Johnson, then go on your official Twitter account and post a link to your latest video. I guess that's the quickest way. If you want to prove who you are, go on your Twitter account and put up a tweet right now to your latest video. I mean, you should want to advertise yourself, shouldn't you? Shouldn't you? You should want to advertise yourself. This is so derailed. I'm just saying that I feel like we have an imposter in the chat is basically what I'm saying. So like, go on. I mean, you shouldn't have any problem with it. If you're actually the voice of Blue, because by the way, Tracy Page Johnson is the voice of freaking Blue, of the damn dog. No way in hell you have time when you're currently working on an actual show. Do you have time to be doing YouTube stuff? But if you do, go on your Twitter account and put a tweet. I mean, the last time there was a tweet by Tracy Page Johnson was in 2017. So I'm just putting that out there. Like, anyways, moving on. We have bigger priorities. I appreciate your feedback. Good shit. What's up, Immortal Rooster? How you doing? I'm doing great. You should yeah. I'm doing pretty good, Immortal Rooster. Just really, dude, this is just some crazy crap. Someone actually in the chat, I call them on their crap, and they're just like, I'm Tracy Page Johnson. I'm like, dude, there's no way. Tracy Page Johnson's probably a multimillionaire by now. Like, just no way. You're wasting your time with 138 subs on. Like, I know Tracy Page Johnson does not have a lot of followers on Twitter, by the way. It's only 400 something. But she also hasn't tweeted in 3 years. If you had to solve Joy-Con drift, what would you do to fix it? Contact cleaner solution. I have a whole video on it. Look up how to fix Joy-Con drift permanently. Or like the last Joy-Con drift fix you'll ever need, or whatever, something like that. Nintendo Prime. Look it up on YouTube. I have a whole video on how to fix it. Where do you think I can get Ring Fit Adventures? It's always sold out, and I don't know if I should get an out-of-country copy or what. I have no idea, Austin 980. I can't get one either. Sometimes they come in stock on Best Buy. That's a good place to check. It doesn't last very long, but let's see here. Can't believe I just learned the name of the creator of Blue's Clues, and that's also the Blue's Clues voice, right? Right? Is there anything good this season? Yep, Blue's Clues and You. It's not an anime, but well, I've been following Yuzaki-chan. Okay, you guys talking about some anime stuff. Hey, chat and Nate. What's up, Eric Wolf? I just picked up 16 six-packs of beer for $28 due to a pricing error. Yeah, dude. That has to be a massive pricing error. Congrats, dude. 16 six-packs of beer? Damn. Is it good beer or is it like Busch Light or something? I mean, I'm drinking Miller Lite, so it's not like I'm drinking the best of the best stuff here. But is it like good beer? Or is it just like a cheaper beer? I mean, it's okay. That's still an insane deal for $28. The cap is real. 2020 really is one of a kind. I'm Boris the Duck. I'm Joe Stuffed Duck. There we go. Now we're getting some trolls in the chat. Let's go. Yes. This is great. What is happening on this stream right now? We got a Blues Clues official channel by supposedly the voice of Blue. We have Boris the Duck here. Am I ready to watch the Bucks take that L? Yeah. I don't even know if Giannis is playing today, so they probably will get that yell, that L, because according to the official report, Ersan Ilyasova is starting and not Giannis. I don't know if Giannis is hurt. No one's saying anything anywhere. But yeah, good beer from back home. They just started selling it here. Nice. Pokemon Company hates when people promote their stuff. Dude, yeah, you can't even have like a Pokemon birthday party. They might get mad. Am I going to delete you from the chat? Not unless you cause a problem, man. You're fine. Trolls happen all the time, but unless you do something that's obnoxious, you're fine. I've dealt with worse. Last thing I watched was God of High School episode 1. I'll probably start RE0 season 2 soon. Nice. Celtics are a sleeper this year. I agree. Celtics are legit. They're legit. Them and the Raptors are. I'm a little worried about them, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the Bucks rock them without Giannis, and then I won't be worried at all. Do you say we get a Pokemon Let's Go game next year? I'd like one. I'd like to see Gen 2 Pokemon Let's Go. Let's Go Gen 2 game, but we'll see. What game are you looking forward to on the Switch besides Breath of the Wild 2? Metroid Prime 4, Bayonetta 3? Like the only games that are announced? I mean, what game are you looking for? I mean, there's only 3 games we know about right now that I'm aware of. Metroid Prime 4, Breath of the Wild 2, and Bayonetta 3. I don't know what else I'm supposed to look forward to. Nintendo hasn't given us anything to look forward to, so I don't really know. I'm the real Slim Shady. I'm Slim Shady. Yes, I'm the real Shady. Oh, you other Slim Shadys are just imitating. So, won't the real Slim Shady please stand up? Please stand up. You think Switch units will be around 70 to 75 million by the end of this year? Yes. I'm actually one of Tracy's subs. Nice. Yes. Oh, SMT5. Yeah. Sorry, Shin Megami Tensei 5. Not to insult Shin Megami Tensei. That is coming too. So there you go. 4 games. Well, plus you can go Shin Megami Tensei 3 remastered. Bakudan. Boris is wild. I feel like I've been like making love to the mic this whole stream. I've just been just licking it. This is just an alt. This is awesome. Yeah, clearly it's an alt account because notice how Boris started talking and the other person stopped. It's clearly an alt account. This is great. What happened to Metroid Prime Trilogy? It was a rumor and then just faded out. Is it still happening? Woo! I don't know. It's like the whole 35th anniversary thing. I don't know. I don't have any answers. I have no idea. I don't know what Blues Room is. I don't at all. That's the Hypnotic. The Hypnotic's coming out. The Hypnotic's hitting me late. It's just coming in and slapping me in the face. Can you imagine if I did another one? Just come in and boom, boom. Slap me around, why don't you? ASMR Nate. What's up, Immortal Rooster? Jinkari 89. Boris the Duck with Austin 980. Jumping into Fire Soul's little party bus over there. Aren't you? Oh my god. What is happening? Damn Hypnotic. Maybe that's what happens, dude. It's not that high of alcohol volume, but it's an alcohol that freaking just hits you. Like, oh, it doesn't taste that bad. This is kind of good. And then like half hour later, boom. You're just feeling it. Imagine what Prime News is going to be like today. Just imagine. You guys think I have high energy on Prime News normally. I might not be able to sit still. I don't know if I can record a Prime News now. I probably shouldn't because that'll be 4 videos today, technically. Maybe I won't record. Maybe I'll do like a Prime News mini or something. Just grab a few stories and call it good. Then again, that's one story short of a Prime. Whatever. I need a Nintendo story for today. I have nothing Nintendo to talk about. Like, nothing that's interesting anyways. Let me see what's going on out there. Yeah, there's like nothing interesting. At least interesting to me. Like, there's been some Lego Mario stuff today. But nothing that's really making me give a crap about stuff. The alts just keep coming. First Boris, now Joe. This is great. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, Joe. Help us get to 50K so we can give away an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5 or a Switch. Let's see here. Where's the N64 Online Nintendo? Dang. Oh, Game Boy Online. Dang. Jinchuriki. I'm not going to be able to remember that. Jinchuriki. I'm totally going to forget. I'm really bad with names. Jinchuriki. I'm totally the real Raggy Feet Phil's aim. Yeah, I'm Shigeru Miyamoto. I'm the real deal over here. You guys see my salary? It's pretty baller, isn't it? I'm making a ballin' salary at Nintendo. 1.8 million. You can. All right, I probably should end the stream. I got to get going on Prime News here. I'm about 5 minutos late. Let me go through the today's super chats here. Thank you so much, JLo, again for the $9.99. Thank you, Vashrain, for the $4.99. Vashrain again for the $4.99, and Sab Vasquez for the $1. Thank you guys so much. Be sure to tune in tonight at 8 p.m. Central Time for the Nintendo Prime podcast, basically. I hopefully will have a Prime News episode out as well, but we'll see what happens there. But there will be a Nintendo Prime podcast tonight at 8 p.m. So thank you so much, guys. Peace out. Catch you in the next video.